Okay, so by the way, belts shouldn't look like this. And as well as reasons, when you see cracks or your mechanic says, hey, you should probably change your serpentine belt. Yeah, this would be why. This is bad. Still drives.
And stops.
And it stops. This is the $1,400 R320 CDI. Yes, indeed, it's a diesel. I got it cheap because, well, they blew the tensioner on it. Other than that, it actually doesn't look too bad. Just bought it about an hour ago now. Gonna drive it home. Gonna be a long drive. All right, so I made it back to the garage after a very long drive. It was 3 hours down and about 3.5 hours with the truck fully loaded to get back here to the garage. But the car did make it safe and sound, and the truck was an absolute trooper. I've been digging around the engine bay, and the reason this car was so cheap is because it shredded the serpentine belt while it was driving, and the previous owner pretty much didn't want to deal with it anymore. I've been looking around, and the shop quoted a bunch of things that it needed doing, but I'm not seeing anything that would actually stop me from just putting on a new belt and starting this car up. So I've just kicked it off the trailer. That's all I've done so far. I'm gonna go pop the hood, take a look around, and see if I can just slide on a new serpentine belt and maybe get this thing driving today before I dive much further into it, because there are a lot of things that need to be done to it. But let's go take a look. And it is grimy in here. I mean, astonishingly grimy. There is oil, there is chunks of belt. It's a mess. But I had to wiggle around, and all the pulleys are intact, and everything spins freely. So I think I just really need to clean up all the crap from the previous belt here. I think we should be able to start this thing. We'll find out. Okay, one new belt. It's a parts store special, so, you know, not exactly Mercedes quality, but it's on there, and we're gonna give this thing a start and see if it runs again. All right, here we go. Okay, it starts. And brake wear sensors are on. All right, cool. Let's see what the engine looks like. Oh, there's some noises going on in here. Sounds like power steering pump. That is a heck of an oil leak, too. Wow, look at that oil leak. All right, now that we've got this thing running and driving, let's actually take a look at this thing and figure out what did I really get for my $1,400. First off, I want to talk about the engine. This one does come with the V6 OM642 diesel engine, and these things actually get pretty good efficiency. You can see upwards in the mid-20s of fuel economy. They have a couple weak points, notably oil leaks, which this one has in spades. If we come down here, you can see everything is coated in oil, and in fact, one of the first jobs is going to be fixing and resealing the oil filter housing, because it is leaking prodigiously. As soon as I started up, oil started spurting from right there. So this is a job that needs to be done pretty much immediately. Other than that, it seems to run okay. My guess is it will probably also need an oil cooler job, which is a real nightmare on this car. Hopefully it's okay. I doubt it, given how much oil is everywhere. I suspect we're also in for oil coolers, but that's later down the road. Next up is the interior, and it's really dirty, folks. It really desperately needs a clean. It's got the brown Mercedes MB Tex interior. This is not leather. It looks like leather, it feels like leather, but it's almost certainly MB Tex. I'm pretty sure all of these were. In fact, there's some cracking here. Yeah, that's clearly Tex. It's a good material, but it's not leather, like it says. As we go around here, you can see that there's some pieces that are a little loose and kind of falling off. So this whole center console area just needs a lot of work. The command system works really good, so the stereo system is awesome in this car. Heating and air conditioning all seem to be fine, but just a lot of cleaning needs to be done. Moving to the back here, though, you can see what makes these vehicles really practical. You've got 2 seats in the standard back, and then behind that you've got flip-up seats additionally, which I've currently got flipped down. But if we put all these spaces down here, so you put them all down, you get a huge amount of storage space. This is an incredibly practical, if very odd-looking vehicle. Coming around to the back on this one does have the power tailgate. It'll lift itself up. There it goes. And of course also power close, which is a nice and convenient feature. Pretty common on cars these days, but you know, when this car came out, that was pretty sweet. It also has parking sensors and a rear backup camera, which again are nice features. And coming also on the exterior here, this one also has a huge Mercedes OEM roof box, which is massive, and I will probably be taking off so I can make better use of the panoramic glass sunroof. Kind of like one of the new Teslas. This one gives you an unobstructed view of the sky. It's a really nice feature. The body is okay. There's a lot of scratches, dings. The tow cover is missing. Clearly the previous owner bounced into something because we've got the bumper kind of popping off on the edges here. That'll need to be sorted. And there's a lot of scratches and dents kind of surrounding the whole car, including this really big one here, which I think we're going to try to do a little bit of PDR on, try to bring that back out, because the paint is not damaged, but it is rather dented. So we have a lot of work to do on this car yet, but I'm looking forward to getting stuck in and seeing what we can do with this thing. All right, folks, that's all for now on the $1,400 R320 project. A lot more to come on this thing as we start working our way through it and fixing the many issues with it as we start making it into a good running car again. Hope you'll join us. See you soon.